Good morning, Car Clinic affiliates. Your Car Clinic minutes for the week of November 30th, 2015 are about to head your way, so be sure to press that record button. As always, thank you for listening to and broadcasting Bobby Likis Car Clinic. Have an excellent weekend.
Hi, I'm Bobby Likis with today's Car Clinic Minute. Baby, it's cold outside, but cozy inside your car, right? No? Icicles are hanging from your cheeks? Well, when we come back, it's an open and shut case of the faulty thermostat. I'm Bobby Likis, calling all technicians with 20 facts about ethanol. The Department of Agriculture determined ethanol's energy balance to be 1.7 to 2.3. That's to say, today's ethanol production yields nearly twice as much energy as it took to create. Also, in 2011, ethanol use reduced tailpipe CO2 equivalent emissions by 25.3 metric tons. I'm Bobby Likis with 20 facts about ethanol, brought to you by the Renewable Fuels Association. If you're still wearing mittens after a couple of miles of driving, your thermostat may be stuck open. The result is a too-cool engine which doesn't produce enough hot water to warm the heater coils that make passenger cabins toasty. And if Frosty the Snowman's more comfortable inside your car than you, it's more than an inconvenience, it's a warning sign. Engines that run too cool waste gas and are prone to mechanical troubles. So keep your engine and your passengers operating at optimum temperature. Have your thermostat checked today. I'm Bobby Likis. Like us, you'll love us. Hi, I'm Bobby Likis with today's Car Clinic Minute. The family photo album. Always keep a camera handy to capture those special Kodak moments, like senior proms, graduations, weddings, traffic accidents. Traffic accidents? Why? When I come back, I'll give you a snapshot. I'm Bobby Likis, calling all technicians with 20 facts about ethanol. Myth is that ethanol production dramatically increases food prices. Fact is that experts from the USDA, World Bank, academia, and independent consultants all note that a complex range of factors influence food prices, including supply chain costs, weather, and oil prices. I'm Bobby Likis with 20 facts about ethanol, brought to you by the Renewable Fuels Association. Now, don't get bent out of shape when I advise taking pictures of your car that's bent out of shape in an accident. When accidents occur, emotions run high and details are overlooked, like traffic and road conditions. And those involved don't always see or remember the same thing. What's at stake? Who pays, of course. Keeping an inexpensive disposable camera in your car ready to capture the moment is no accident. One of these pictures could be worth 1,000 words, and a lot of dollars, too. I'm Bobby Likis. Like us, you'll love us. Hi, I'm Bobby Likis with today's Car Clinic Minute. How do you spell love? For some, it's F-O-R-D. For others, it's H-E-M-I. Yep. America's heartbeat isn't limited to Chevys. And when I come back, we'll run the numbers on America's love affair with cars. I'm Bobby Likis, calling all technicians with 20 facts about ethanol. Upon EPA approval, advanced ethanol production from grain sorghum will give the nation another option as it aims to meet the federal goal of producing 36 billion gallons of renewable fuels per year by 2022. I'm Bobby Likis, calling all technicians with 20 facts about ethanol, brought to you by the Renewable Fuels Association. Drive to ethanolrfa.org. To many drivers, cars aren't just transportation. They're members of the family. According to the International Car Wash Association, 84% of people polled said they loved their cars. 27% gave their cars pet names, while a whopping 64% hold conversations with their buggies. And when it comes down to business, many people prefer Buicks to boardrooms. 20% of car owners have held meetings in their cars, while 34% make important life decisions while behind the wheel. Now that's what I call TLC, which stands for Tender Loving Car. I'm Bobby Likis. Like us, you'll love us. Hi, I'm Bobby Likis with today's Car Clinic Minute. In ancient times, troubadours traveled around and told stories through song. But did you know today's cars have a troubadour of their own right under your hood? When I come back, I'll sing its praises. I'm Bobby Likis, calling all technicians with 20 facts about ethanol. Common myth, ethanol ruins engines. Fact is quite the opposite. Virtually every engine maker provides warranty coverage for E10 ethanol blends. Yes, since ethanol's intro as a fuel source in the late 70s, auto manufacturers have continuously upgraded fuel system components so that today they are all compatible with ethanol fuels. I'm Bobby Likis, calling all technicians with 20 facts about ethanol. Drive to ethanolrfa.org. Your automotive troubadour may not sing, but it sure travels around and tells stories. It's your dipstick, and it communicates more than engine oil levels. Take a look and listen. Black oil on the dipstick says you're overdue for an oil change. Froth hints oil contamination. Metal particles caution engine checkups in order. And water droplets may mean harmless condensation, but more likely declare trouble leaking gaskets or faulty thermostat. Take heed, or you may be spending time not traveling, but singing the blues. I'm Bobby Likis. Like us, you'll love us. Hi, this is Bobby Likis with another Car Clinic Minute. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. It's a great day for monster truck races and afternoon brunch. But what's the best day to buy a car? Get out your weekly calendar, because when I come back, we'll pencil it in. I'm Bobby Likis, calling all technicians with 20 facts about ethanol. Did you know the first flex fuel vehicle was not born in the 70s? In 1896, Henry Ford built his first automobile, the quadricycle, to run on pure ethanol. In 1908, the flex fuel Model T, designed to run on gasoline and ethanol, rolled onto American roadways. I'm Bobby Likis, calling all technicians with 20 facts about ethanol. Brought to you by the Renewable Fuels Association. EthanolRFA.org. If Monday's kid is in the know, then Saturday's child is in the show. Room, that is, looking for a great deal on a car. Except in Detroit, when Friday's best. Because ironically, many car lots are closed on Saturday. Another well-versed hint? A penny saved is a penny earned. So wait till month's end and don't get burned. Yes, you may want to calendar the last day of the month for car shopping, because salespeople having to fill monthly quotas may be more inclined to give a buyer a better deal if it helps them meet projected sales. And the green you pocket might even take the blue out of Monday. I'm Bobby Likis. Like us, you'll love us.
Bobby Likis Car Clinic begins at 6 minutes after the hour. Bobby Likis Car Clinic begins at 6 minutes after the hour. Bobby Likis Car Clinic begins at 6 minutes after the hour. Bobby Likis Car Clinic begins at 6 minutes after the hour. Bobby Likis Car Clinic begins at 6 minutes after the hour. Countdown to 3-minute mark. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. Bobby Likis Car Clinic begins at 6 minutes after the hour. Bobby Likis Car Clinic begins at 6 minutes after the hour. Bobby Likis Car Clinic begins at 6 minutes after the hour. Countdown to 1-minute mark. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. Countdown to 30-second mark. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. Count down to 10-second mark. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. Welcome to Bobby Likis Car Clinic. If you have a car question for Bobby, call now at 1-800-264-5454, toll free from anywhere in America. And now, here's your host, Bobby Likis.
And good morning. Welcome to this edition of Bobby Likis Car Clinic. So if you want to talk cars, you have come to the right place. Today is a special day, and I know I've said that many, many times on Bobby Likis Car Clinic, but today we have reporters from not in my own hometown, also from Daytona Beach. Terry Sabiston from WNDB there in Daytona Beach is going to be calling in, and he's actually on the line right now. So after the break, we're going to come back to Terry and find out what's going on in Daytona Beach, Florida, as we speak. This segment of Bobby Likis Car Clinic is brought to you by Delphi. Not just quality, Delphi quality. Connect with Delphi Auto Parts on Facebook for tech tips and auto advice. Also, really proud because there's a little story about Indy that I'll share with you a little later in today's broadcast. This segment of Bobby Likis Car Clinic is brought to you by Stant Corporation, bringing original equipment expertise to quality aftermarket products like fuel caps, radiator caps, and thermostats. Find Stant products for your vehicle at stant.com. Find all the information that you'll need to know about your automobile right now, right here on Bobby Likis Car Clinic. Coming up, we have Terry from the Daytona Beach International Speedway. It's going to be a great show, folks. I see that NJ from New Jersey is on the phone. I wonder if that's his name, NJ or New Jersey. Regardless, back with your calls, 888 Car Clinic and Terry Sabiston from Daytona Beach. I'm Bobby Likis. Let's go to the Car Clinic mailbag. Here's a question from Steve in Eugene, Oregon. Dear Bobby, I live in Oregon. I download all of your shows through iTunes and try not to miss a single one. As you know, there's a lot of talk about El Nino heading our way soon. I'm a loyal K&N guy and have a K&N intake system on my 96 Chevrolet Silverado. My friend said I should go back to stock because all the rain this El Nino is going to bring will cause my motor to suck in too much water. What do you think? Steve, thanks for being a regular Car Clinic podcaster. I can understand what your buddy is thinking, but the original equipment air box has a drain hole in it so water will drain out. You'll have no problem with heavy rains. Your motor will definitely not take in too much water, so don't worry, and just think about how great your truck runs on those cool, rainy days. For more information on why K&N air filters are the world's best air filters, drive to knfilters.com. That's knfilters.com. Diesel is in Delphi's DNA. Delphi's diesel products meet emissions requirements, improve fuel economy, and help enhance vehicle performance worldwide. Installed in more than 30 million vehicles on the road today, Delphi diesel systems provide a high-quality, exact fit for cost-effective diesel repair. So when it comes time for a diesel repair, remember, with Delphi parts, it's not just quality, it's Delphi quality. For helpful repair tips and information, visit DelphiAutoparts.com. Stant is the expert when it comes to radiator caps, thermostats, and fuel caps, supplying manufacturers as far back as Henry Ford's Model A. For OE performance, you can trust that Stant radiator caps will deliver. Radiator caps do more than just keep coolant in. They also control pressures to stop boiling and promote proper coolant circulation. Remember to change your cap when you change coolant and insist that cap's a Stant. For instant quality, drive to Stant.com or your local retailer today. That's Stant.com.
You're listening to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
Like Shakespeare, we ask the question, what's in a name? Ours is pretty blah. We're Geico, not to be confused with Gecko, a small tree lizard. And no, Geico doesn't have a sister company named Girl Co. So, in the absence of a perfect name, focus group tested for hipness, We offer car insurance at a fair price. In 15 minutes, you could save 15%. Call 1-800-947-AUTO, 1-800-947-AUTO. Our name may not be cool, but saving money always is. Geico Direct, the sensible alternative.
Another lending success story from LendingTree.com.
I tend to put things off. For example, I put off getting a home equity line of credit for a while. Then one day, when I should have been doing my laundry, I went to LendingTree.com. I filled out one simple form and got 4 offers back within hours. Then I chose the line of credit that was right for me. Who knows? I may even get around to using it someday.
When banks compete, you win at LendingTree.com. Equal housing opportunity. For additional information and state license disclosures, please visit our website located at LendingTree.com.
And now back to Bobby Likis Car Clinic and your host, Bobby Likis.
And welcome to this hour of Bobby Likis Car Clinic. It will not seem like an hour, so let's get started without further ado. Let's travel a little south from the Gulf Coast of Florida, which is Pensacola, Florida, the beautiful Pensacola, Florida, which is where our studios originate, quite beautifully inside a 15,000 square foot automotive service shop. So we're going to take a quick trip down to Daytona, which is over on the east side of the state, and talk with Terry Sabiston. Terry, welcome back. Well, welcome back to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
It's always great to be on your show, Bobby, especially here live from Daytona International Speedway. It doesn't get any better than this. The turkey run at Daytona International Speedway and Daytona Rising in the finishing stages over the top of us here. So beautiful, gorgeous day here at Daytona International Speedway.
Well, there's so much to talk about. I know the Daytona Rising, and I know that 2016 is that's a $400 million project for the Daytona International Speedway. But let's go right straight to the turkey run. Give us the 30,000-foot view, and then let's hone in on what you're seeing there with regard to different makes of cars, classics, hot rods, you name it. Tell us about it.
From the 30,000-foot view, you'd be blinded by the chrome. If you could turn this into solar power, the chrome here would reflect. There's more chrome here than you can imagine at Daytona International Speedway. That's what's so neat about all these cars. I'm looking right now at a 1935 Caddy that is just, unbelievable. And the guy, he's done some amazing things to it. It's got, it actually has a 76 Caddy 500 engine in it, a 69 Caddy Turbo 400, a 78 Camaro subframe, an 81 Trans Am rear end, 35 Caddy rear springs, 78 Seville sunroof. This thing is beautiful. It's a classy Caddy, man, and that's just it. There are cars out here that they can't drive these on the road, but they do, and they bring them out to car shows, and they're beautiful. There's Caddies, there's Nomads. There's a 59 Caddy over here, convertible. It's just a dream. Nomad, that's one of I remember having my little Hot Wheel Nomad saying, someday I want one of those, and there's several of those out here. And this just goes on. There's 6,000 cars out here.
6,000 cars?
On and on.
That is amazing. Now, so Terry, the infield, is that where the bulk of the cars are on the infield? Are there any cars around the actual track itself that's staged?
No, they're all in the infield. They actually use the back stretch inside of the track to park trailers on. All you can do is come across the track. I believe as the show ends, you can buy a chance to take your hot rod around Daytona International Speedway after the show ends on Sunday. But, this is just, it's unbelievable. I'm just spinning in circles going, which way do I go? Which way do I turn? Because there's more than, it's a 4-day event. It started Thanksgiving Day. You could spend 4 days here and not see everything. There's that much going on. There's a 55 Bel Air. They say you can buy a car here and put it together. Well, they brought a car in pieces, and they're putting it together in the Xfinity garage right now. They're building a 55 Bel Air, and that's pretty cool in 4 days to put a car together.
And I understand that Mecum Auction, they have a booth set up there?
Yep, they got a booth set up here, and a huge booth. It's a tractor trailer long, and there's so much going on here. You can't, like I say, you can't figure out which direction to go. I'm looking at a beautiful Thunderbird. Looks like a 59 Thunderbird parked right next to it. What year is this? Well, how about a 66 Corvette convertible in almost a brown, burgundy or brown, hard to tell. And that's just it. You got to get up close and look at these cars under the hood, inside of them. You can do that, and that's the fun of this. This is a guy's just dream come true. And there is a car corral, and this is the largest car corral they had. If you want to buy a car, this is the day, this is the time. Actually, they say late Sunday afternoon, about 2 o'clock is the best time because nobody wants to take it home.
So
they want to sell it.
Terry, what's the official name of the event?
It is the turkey run.
The turkey run. And how long?
And the only difference between this and the one in the spring is that's the spring turkey run. It's not the rod run anymore. It's the turkey run because it's established. This is the 42nd year. This started out as a car show down on the beach at Bel Air Plaza, got too big, and it's been here at Daytona National Speedway for 25 years.
Bill France would love this. He would love this to see all those cars. And I would imagine he would, or is it sacrilege that he's got all these hot rods and classics on his racetrack?
Well, actually, what this is, and it's run by the Daytona Racing District, which collects the rent from Daytona International Speedway. And with that, they also get used to the track 2 weekends, and they cannot have a race. So they can't use the track, but they can use the rest of the property, and they have filled every square inch of it with cars, more cars. They have an art area with handcrafted arts and stuff. They've got a kids area. They've got, if you're looking for a Christmas present for a guy, they have everything you could imagine to put in his man cave out here. It's just beyond your imagination. And about 5 or 6 years ago, they said it can't get any bigger. Well, they're wrong. It's getting bigger every year, and it keeps growing, and it's so much fun. And then looking outside here, Daytona Rising. That's a whole other subject to talk about.
Give us a 30,000-foot view, just a minute or so, on Daytona Rising and what all that project entails, and how many seats and the stretch, how long the stretch is.
Over a mile long, over 100,000 seats. I think it's 101,000. The top out is done. They've built it as high as it's going to go. There are seats still to be put in front of the tower, and the World Center of Racing, the new tower, is just humongous. It's quadruple the size of the old tower. There's all kinds of suites and entertainment areas in that. The seats are completed, almost all the seats on either end, which that we haven't seen that. This is the first time I've seen those done. They're still filling in the middle section. You realize there's only 60 days until there's cars on the track here for the Rolex coming up into January, so we're not far away from having activities here at the track on the Speedway. They got a lot of work to do, but it is beautiful.
Well,
and it's just amazing seeing what they've done. You know, I've been here for a long time, and all the changes they make surprise me, and I get to see it as it happens. So it's beautiful. The colored seats, all different colors. And then they're having checkered flag seats toward the start-finish line, the whole middle section. And that beautiful tower with the World Center of Racing letters, I think they're like 15 feet high across the top of it. And the backstretch tower's gone. That's weird. That's been there forever too. So it's just, the more you look around, the more you see. And Daytona International Speedway and Daytona Rising is really coming out of the ground and really about to top out and finish up.
You know what, to me, Terry, what is really fantastic is the fact that all during this renovation for the last several years, and this $400 million worth of renovation, they continue to carry on the races. So if anyone's ever done any home reconstruction or business facility reconstruction, it can really be a zoo. And how the team there at the Daytona International Speedway can carry that off, that's pretty powerful.
It is, and what's cool about it is they've opened up sections as they finished them. So we got to see what it was going to be like back last year during Speed Weeks in July, but not completed. That's the other thing. From the outside of the track, it's just been a construction-type view. They're starting to put finishing touches on. They're adding colors. They're adding vinyl. The entrances, or I guess I'll call them entrances, but there's 5 or 6 different entrances, and each one has its own personality, but also has its own escalator, elevator, and actually was here when Richard Childress and Austin Dillon had a race to the top, and they made Austin take the stairs and Richard the elevator, and it was a close tie with a young man and an old man getting up to the very top by the end. But it's just so easy to get around. They've got Wi-Fi throughout now. That's going to be a big difference here. That was always a problem here at Daytona,
right.
is getting a good phone signal. That's not a problem anymore. The technology is more advanced than any other stadium out there.
Okay, shift gears. Just your quick input here as time permits. What's Jeff Gordon going to do now?
I guess we get to listen to him some more. I believe he's going to be. Well, he's a car owner already. He's part owner of Jimmy Johnson's team and has been for a long time. But I believe he's going to be joining the NBC team, and we get to hear Jeff Gordon from the driver's point of view, what's going on in the track during the races. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. But you consider how many he starts and how many wins and how many laps that he's made, and it's a milestone that he really. I've always been a fan of his, and I think he did and has done a well of a job. As you're always great to have on the program here, and I hear the background there. Terry Savison from Daytona Beach, the Daytona International Speedway, and the annual turkey run. This is the 42nd annual turkey run, correct?
Correct.
And then when's the next one?
The next one's in the spring, comes up toward the end of March after we get through with racing and bike week. We take a deep breath, and then we get to come back out here and do this all again. The spring show's not quite as big, but it's growing too, and it's amazing how many people come out for that. But the turkey run is really what it's all about. You think about it. Some people celebrate Thanksgiving here every year.
Well, that's amazing. Terry, thank you so much for taking the time, and I'll let you get back to your enjoyment. And, folks, there you have it from Daytona. Terry Savaston, WNDB 1150 AM, our inaugural station there. We had 4 stations to start with, and WNDB was one of them, and we're still on that station. So hats off to you and to Mike Multane, Mark Bernier, who made the decision to carry Bobby Likis Car Clinic, and it's been a great run for 24 years. I just can't tell you how exciting I am, and I want to come down as soon as I can make a trip down. But in the meantime, Terry, thank you so much for joining us today and for all of the information you share with us. Thanks a lot, Bobby, and it's 1150 WNDV, 93.5 FM, which when we brought it on the FM, the first time when we went from AM to FM, it was on Bobby Likis, and you were on, and we were part of that too. And you're a big part of our family, and we really appreciate all you do for us. Thank you, my friend. There you have it, folks. Live from Daytona now. We're going to come back to the Pensacola studio, and then we're going to take a trip to New Jersey, and your calls at 888 Car Clinic. 1 out of every 4 batteries will fail this winter. Get yours tested for free at O'Reilly Auto Parts during Super Start Battery Month. The professional parts people will help you determine how much life your battery has left, and if you need a replacement, we'll find the right battery for your vehicle. And right now, during Super Start Battery Month, get up to $25 in O'Reilly gift cards after mail-in rebate with purchase of Super Start Extreme or Super Start Platinum batteries. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Stay tuned to Car Clinic, because today I'm giving away a $50 gift card, compliments of O'Reilly Auto Parts. One lucky Car Clinic listener will be awarded the $50 gift card at the end of today's show. So call me now with your car question at 888 Car Clinic. I'm Bobby Likis, calling all technicians with 20 facts about ethanol. For ethanol by the numbers, drive to carclinicnetwork.com/20 facts about ethanol, or drive to ethanolrfa.org. History is full of automotive breakthroughs, like in-vehicle air conditioning in 1939 and airbags in the 70s. Now Shell is proud to introduce another automotive breakthrough, Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline, featuring an innovative additive package with patented technology. Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline protects against all 3 main types of engine performance threats: gunk, corrosion, and wear. Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline provides the best total engine protection you can buy. It actively cleans intake valves and fuel injectors and shields critical engine parts against future buildup. The result is a cleaner, more efficient engine that will operate at optimum performance. Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline, proven in industry-standard tests and recommended by BMW M Series. Don't give your engine just any premium gasoline. Choose a breakthrough. Choose Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline. Learn more at shell.com/US.
You're listening to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
The airlines like to have sales. Summer getaway sales, holiday sales, winter sales. Truth is, at any moment, some airline somewhere is on sale with low fares to great destinations. Travelocity knows exactly what's going on, who's on sale, to where, and when, at over 700 airlines worldwide. We even have this nifty feature that lets you look at a calendar so that you can see exactly the days the great fares are available. Travelocity.com. Go virtually anywhere. AOL keyword, travel.
Hun, guess my temperature.
It's 2 a.m. Go to sleep.
Come on, one guess.
I'm 98.
Higher.
Higher, 99.
You're getting warmer. Wait, I'm getting warmer.
Cold symptoms keeping you from getting a good night's sleep? Get NyQuil, the nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, stuffy head, fever so you can sleep better to feel better medicine. Use as directed.
One more guess.
100?
Yes. Tell her what she's won, Bob.
And now back to Bobby Likis Car Clinic and your host, Bobby Likis.
Well, indeed, it is Bobby Likis Car Clinic because we're talking cars. Tons of information. What a great information from Terry Sabiston there at Daytona Beach and at the track. Just unbelievable. I'm going to go to New Jersey, as I said, and then we're going to hear from Stan here from Pensacruz. Pensacruz, which is we'll let Stan talk about that a little bit later in the program, but right now you can call with your car questions at 888 Car Clinic, and I'll put your name in the hat to win a $50 gift card, compliments of O'Reilly Auto Parts. Of all of our partner sponsors, O'Reilly is one of the coolest that we have. Why? Because in-house, we use O'Reilly Auto Parts for our customers' cars. Why? Quality, it makes us look good, and service. Better parts, better prices every day. And now, another reason to love O'Reilly Auto Parts, a $50 gift card. I'll announce the winner at the end of Car Clinic shows today. So we'll go back to the phones and go to New Jersey, but all you have to do is call 888-227-2546, 888-227-2546 for the car question. Put your name in the hat, and at the end of today's broadcast, we will draw a name out of that hat for the O'Reilly Auto Parts $50 gift card. NJ, welcome to Bobby Likis Car Clinic. Thank you for holding.
Oh, yes, my pleasure. The woman that takes the name, she is fantastic.
Allison?
Very patient.
Yeah, she's cool.
Great. I like her.
She is cool.
Yeah.
She had a great Thanksgiving, see, so we're all kind of laid back.
Okay. Well, this is what's going on with my car.
Okay.
It's a 1990 Buick Regal 3.1 engine.
Right.
And I had someone to check it out, and what he finds is that the fuel is getting to the injection, and something is telling the injection not to open, to stay closed.
Okay.
What can that be?
Well, number one, the injectors have a hot lead from the ECM. Well, let me get away from all those acronyms. The onboard computer sends 12 volts to, or 5 volts, or whatever volts they send to the injectors. But, in order to make a light bulb or anything electrical work, you got to have a positive and a negative. So the injectors are fired by drivers inside, the electronic drivers inside the onboard computer. That onboard computer will not operate those injectors until the engine is turning over and the computer gets its signal from a crank sensor. So if you had a bad crank sensor, nothing is going to work because the computer doesn't know that the engine's even turning over. But here's the challenge, NJ. It's a 1990 model automobile. And
yes,
in 1996, things got easier. Now, granted, with automobiles, things got a lot more complicated and more sophisticated, but still they got easier because the more sophisticated, the more complicated, the more technologically advanced cars are, then the more you can trace. So you can trace a circuit and choose a circuit. With your automobile, it's sort of in the midlife. It's trying to go from electronic control injection to a true electronic control injection and other things on the cars. So what needs to happen is, and I don't know who is checking the automobile, but the first thing that I would recommend for you is either a Buick dealership or a local ASE certified technician. And that would be the best advice I could give you, because if you have a technician who's looked at this car and he's told you that the injectors aren't working, he should also be able to tell you why they're not working, because he should be able to back trace the steps. And here's what I mean by that. You turn the kitchen light on at the wall. The light doesn't work. You say, well, the bulb is burned out. You put a bulb in it, and you flip the switch. It still doesn't work. You say, well, the light next to it works, and the switch operates that. It must be that socket. So then you take the bulb out, and you take that socket, or you get an electrician, and they put a new socket in, because you know that you had power going to the other lights. That's the same thing, maybe a little more sophisticated, granted, and maybe it has older wires, granted. But the bottom line is, if he knows the injectors are not firing, he should be able to know why they're not firing. And the first thing to do is to make sure that he has ignition voltage, ignition fire, so the computer says, okay, I've got fire in the hole, give me the fuel. Because it's not going to say, give me the fuel unless it has fire to fire it. Got it?
Got it.
So,
okay.
So let me give you a website that is universally accepted, and it's an organization that I'm proud to be part of. It's the Automotive Service Association, and the website is asashop.org. And ASA stands for Automotive Service Association, and of course, shop just means you're looking for a shop, and you go to asashop.org, and you put in 5 miles and your zip code, and you're going to find out several shops, and then you can make the phone call from the luxury of your own home and determine how savvy someone is or how easy they are to talk with. If they're too busy to waste time with you on the phone, they're not going to be much better face to face. So that's what we talk about this in our meetings all the time with service. People don't know how great we are. And if we say we're great, they just think we're patting ourselves on the back. You got to prove it. You got to walk the walk if you're going to talk it. So call a couple, 3 shops, because there'll be a list of shops, and say, here's I got a problem, and feel free to mention my name, because I'm well known, and I know a lot of members at ASA, and say, I was steered in your direction from Bobby Likis, and he's another part of the country, but do you work on 90 model Buicks? And then they're going to ask you, well, yes or no. And if they do, you say, well, here's what my car is doing. Now, here's the only last piece of advice that I'll share with you. You don't know that the injectors are not firing, because the person that told you they're not firing may or may not know what he's talking about.
Okay.
So that's all you know, is you were told that. Make sure you express that you were told this, and you want them to spend an hour on the car and get their opinion, because you wouldn't call one doctor and say, Dr. Jones told me I needed this, and I want you to do this. Well, this doctor that you go to for the second opinion is not going to take Dr. Jones' word. He or she is going to check their own. You see where I'm going there?
I got you.
You can't ask someone to perform an operation based on someone else's tests. You just can't do it. That has to be collaboration. And so that's the problem with people shifting shops and calling around getting prices, but you don't know that. That's why the show is here, for you to ask questions and for me to give you information like this. And now I'm going to go to Stan at Pensa Cruz. But NJ, thank you so much for calling. We're going to put your name in the hat, and maybe you'll win a $50 gift card from O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Oh, okay. Thank you for taking my call.
You're welcome. Thank you for holding. And Stan, welcome to Bobby Likis Car Clinic. Stan, glad to have you in the house.
Well, thank you very much. I'm glad to be on. I am down at Pensa Cruz for Pensacola, and you have never seen so many really fascinating cars. I am so pleased. I mean, I just walked by a Ferrari. Did you know there's a Ferrari in Pensacola?
Well, yes. But Stan, here's what's really ironic. It's like in our service shop. We'll go for a week and never have a water pump problem or a hose burst or what have you, and we'll have different cars with different problems. And then one day, a customer will come in with water draining out from under the car, coolant, and there'll be a water pump. And that very day, we'll get in 3 water pump jobs. And I mean, that's the way it never fails. And so today, we talked with Terry Sabiston from Daytona Beach, because they have the annual turkey run, which is 6,000 cars there. And I'll be darned now if we don't have right here in my hometown the Pensa Cruz. I think that's a whale of an idea. How many cars are downtown?
Well, where we are is all the way south on Palafox, in the parking lot, just to the east, and it's a pretty good sized parking lot. And there are cars sitting here. There's an MGTD, and there was a rat rod where the guy took it from Foley who took the scene completely. He's got an old truck that he has built all by hand, and he's got little rodents welded all over the place on this little rat rod. And
well, for those listeners, for those folks who don't know or may not know what a rat rod is, give us just a quick overview of what a rat rod looks like.
It looks like somebody left it out in the rain 30 years ago, and this guy's just taking that theme to the ends. He built the bed all himself. The bed is lined with chains. The wheel wells are lined with bicycle chain and other big chain.
Have you picked one? What's your favorite?
Artist in welding. That's made it a lot of fun. Boy, here's a really pretty 55 Bel Air, just gleaming.
What color is it? What color?
Well, it is a dark blue or black and gray.
Have you picked a favorite yet?
No, I just got here. Of course, my 95 Miata Midnight is here, and she's just my entry place into the show. I just love watching look at all these extraordinary cars.
Well,
I would put you on FaceTime, and you could see them if you want.
I wish I had that luxury, but I'm in a studio, and there's no cell phones allowed. Plus, cell phones getting over. You know, as great as we have with this global cast, where we stream video globally, we don't have cell phone connection because we're inside a studio. But this is a place to be for Ivan. We also have in the queue, Stan, and we're going to hold him off until the next segment, Stu Pierce, who is the marketing manager for the GMC Sierra, because the Los Angeles Car Show was just this, a past 10 days, and we're going to be hearing about the new GMC Denali and other cars. This is Car Show Day for sure. And Stan, I want to thank you for calling in. Your Miata, what color is it?
Oh, she's black.
Oh.
Here's a 61 Bel Air convertible, top part up, just gleaming here in the Florida sun.
Okay, quick question.
There's hundreds of cars here.
Quick question. After today's broadcast, I'm going to come down there, and I'm going to walk through and see what's going on. Should I drive the Porsche or should I drive the Viper? And that is a question that remains to be answered. Coming up, folks, thank you, Stan. Coming up, folks, is Stu Pierce, and we're going to talk about the 2017 GMC. Don't touch your dial. From the Car Clinic inbox, James writes, I recently noticed the front tires on my Subaru are worn, but rear tires seem okay. Can I change just 2? James, today's vehicles run on the sum of their parts to make themselves whole. Traction control, analog brakes, crash avoidance systems all require key information from your vehicle's tires. If you're driving an all-wheel drive vehicle, then tires are especially critical in ensuring the all-wheel drive system does its job and keeps you safe. Changing just 2 tires instead of 4 can compromise all-wheel drive operation and, in some vehicles, even cause wear and damage to the all-wheel drive components. When replacing tires, always check tread depth and condition. Rotate your tires at required intervals and check owner's manuals for specifics. Drive to GeneralTire.com to learn about the new Grabber HTS 60, featuring General Tire's newest wear improvement technology that improves tread life up to 25% over the original Grabber HTS. That's GeneralTire.com.
You're listening to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
Waking up can be a chore, but mornings knocking on my front door. Know just what I'll do. Put on a pot of Folgers brew. Mountain grown aroma hits the spot. Helps me give all that I've got. An opportunity to start out smiling and happy. The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup.
Good night, Prevotella. Good night, Actinomyces. Good night, Streptococcus.
Germs, millions of them. They've been building up in your mouth all day, and some of them can even lead to the gum disease gingivitis. Say good night with Listerine. Just 30 seconds of Listerine before bed kills germs, even germs that can cause gingivitis. Use Listerine every night and go to sleep with a healthier mouth. See your dentist. Use as directed when brushing and flossing aren't enough.
If you're familiar with the Kulseford section of the newspaper, you probably understand this message quite well. You see, in the Kulseford section, everything gets abbreviated. Consonants, vowels, prepositional phrases, the very building blocks of our language are thrown right out the window. And that makes it difficult when you're trying to sell your car. You've got a limited amount of space to work with, and by the time you abbreviate the description of your car down to a couple of fragmented sentences, it sounds less like a car and more like a Bluck sedan with sniffed like new condition lemals. No wonder more people are selling their cars through eBay Motors. They can post unlimited text and photo descriptions, and with a nationwide marketplace, they're likely to sell it for more. Plus, both parties can be covered by eBay's Vehicle Protection Program. Buyers are happy, sellers are happy, and no one's abbreviating. eBay Motors, a better way to sell your car.
And now back to Bobby Likis Car Clinic and your host, Bobby Likis.
And welcome back to Bobby Likis Car Clinic. Call with your questions at 888 Car Clinic. From the Los Angeles Auto Show, on the line with us now is Stu Pierce, Marketing Manager for GMC Sierra. Stu, this is your first time on Bobby Likis Car Clinic. I want to give you a big welcome. Glad to have you in the house.
Hey, thank you, Bobby. It's great to be with you, and I enjoy looking forward to it.
The GMC Denali, we'll get right into it, which I love the Denali package, always have. It's always offered a level of refined luxury for pickup truck drivers. This week at the LA Auto Show, GMC introduced the 2016 Sierra Denali Ultimate, the pinnacle of premium luxury. Share with our Car Clinic listeners and viewers the new refinements from the new Sierra Denali.
Yeah, sure, that'd be great. We, as you know, as you were just saying, the Sierra Denali has been really established itself as the leading top luxury pickup in the full-size pickup segment, and it's doing particularly well at the highest end, above $55,000, where our share has been growing steadily. So what we've done this year is we've got a lot of feedback from our customers that they're actually looking for, even more. They want more style. They want more features. So what we've done is put together this new package, this new Ultimate package, which really represents sort of the ultimate Sierra Denali. And we've taken some all-new 22-inch wheels that are silver painted with chrome inserts. They are just really an outstanding look. We've packaged those with some additional chrome elements on the exterior. We've and added in our new tri-mode power steps. This is a new feature that we're just getting into the market now with. What it does is, a lot of vehicles, luxury vehicles, you expect to see a power step where the step opens up when you open the door and closes back up. This new step actually has an additional feature that you can press a button kick a button on the back of the step with your foot, and it actually then extends back, providing a bed step into the front of the bed. So if you want to throw in a toolbox or some other some equipment, some of your sporting goods, throw those into the bed, you've got a nice step on the side that you can put that right up in the front. So because that's one thing we've learned about these buyers is it's not just about a premium interior. Absolutely they want that, but they need the truck capability. They're looking for a real truck that has all of that strong, capable workability, whether it's on a job site, or more likely for a recreational use. These people, they put their trucks to the test.
Well, no doubt about it. Americans love their cake and they want to eat it too. Tell us about the luxury truck segment. You mentioned that that's a growing market as compared to historically. This is the large truck market, is it not?
Yeah, that's right. We're talking full size pickups. And we actually have a Sierra Denali on both our light duty 1500 pickup as well as on our HDs. And they're both just growing with leaps and bounds, really. On the light duty side, which is really where this new Ultimate package comes in, we've been tracking sales above $55,000, sort of the current top of the price range, and that segment has grown from almost non-existent 2 or 3 years ago to now representing maybe 5% of the total segment, 5, sometimes 10. And so we're really, targeting this vehicle to go in that segment and even higher as we bring this out, because again, that's what we're hearing the customers are looking for. They it's almost like, these very successful customers, but they've grown up with full-size trucks. They will only drive full-size trucks, and but they want, because they're now very, very successful, they want to have all the latest features, all the latest technologies, and all the comfort that you can get out of the Sierra Denali.
So, Stu, for those who use trucks and those Car Clinic listeners more than for just show, tell us about the towing, or even as a work truck, any additional features or added configurations that are offered.
Okay, sure, yeah. First of all, you can't talk about capability without talking about the powertrain. And the Sierra Denali Ultimate has the available 6.2 liter V8. That engine's got 420 horsepower, 460 foot-pounds of torque. It is the most powerful engine you can buy in any light-duty truck. So it has the real capability. Of course, it's got standard four-wheel drive. That's on the Ultimate. That's a part of the Ultimate. And you'd expect that. But we've also got some other neat features that really address the capability. The corner step bumper, which we've had on our trucks here for a couple of years now, is still continues to be a really important feature that customers just love. Helps you get into the bed when you're from the back. We've got the spray-on bed liner now standard on this model. That just puts a real professional appearance on what has been the bed liner market, where sometimes the fit and finish isn't as premium.
Sure.
We've now got a very premium finish there. So you've got LED cargo box lighting. The list goes on. So it can totally serve any needs that you've got in terms of a truck. But at the same time, then you go into the comfort side, and we've got features that like magnetic ride control that are the only pickup available with magnetic ride, and that's a feature you'd only expect to find in higher end sports cars. So that takes that typical truck ride that you'd get and really, begins to get it under control, keep it very balanced, whether you're going down a rough road straightaway or whether you're going around curves. That magnetic ride just jumps right in, adjusting the suspension so that you've got the ultimate ride. And then from a quietness perspective, we've gone the extra mile there, too, with active noise cancellation, so very similar to the Bose headphones that you can buy for airplanes. This system actually counters off, it has microphones listening to the cabin and then sends out corresponding sound waves to offset the irritating noises. So, it's got the capability and this ultimate level of refinement. It really is the ultimate truck.
Sounds like it's Stu Pierce, Marketing Manager, GMC Sierra. One final question, Stu. A website where our Car Clinic viewers and listeners can get a peek at the new GMC Sierra.
Yeah, Bobby, thanks. That's they can see it right now on GMC.com. So it's there, and you can find it on the 2016 Sierra page.
Fantastic. Thanks for your time, and thanks for checking in, and congratulations to GM. A great job overall. Can't wait to see the Sierra GMC and drive it. Again, thanks for joining us on Car Clinic, Stu. Glad to have you in the house.
It's great to be with you. Thank you.
And it's really cool. The LA show is really more about upscale automobiles than ever. It dominated this year's auto show for sure. Folks, call with your questions, 888-227-2546, and I'll put your name in the hat today to win a $50 gift card. Compliments of O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. And now, just another reason to love O'Reilly Auto Parts, a $50 gift card. At the end of today's show, I will announce the winner. So you call, and Allison will take your calls at 888-227-2546. That, again, that's 888-227-2546. Any question that you have about your automobile, or if you just have a story about your car that you'd like to share, we've had lots of sharing today with a lot of automobiles mostly from the state of Florida. So if you're tuned in Washington State, or you're tuned in New York, or other cities and states where we are broadcast, let us hear from you, but there may be something going on in your neck of the woods. I want to get right back to the upscale automobiles that dominated this year's show. And I want to share something that I've learned that I think is very interesting, and this comes from the Cadillac president. And he said the luxury brand alone will introduce, get this, 8 new models into the segment by the year 2020. And he said luxury brands account for between 10 to 12% of global sales. Now get these numbers. Of all the sales of all the cars for GM, the luxury sales account for 10 to 12% of all the sales globally, but generate 50% of the industry's profit. So no reason, no surprise that they're selling a Denali Sierra with all the packages. And of all the GM cars that I've looked at, of all the GM SUVs and or trucks that I've considered owning, the Denali was the vehicle for me. The holdback really at the point in time when I was really interested in that was the fact that it had four-wheel drive at standard in the Denali package. And I have no personal need for four-wheel drive, so that's like carrying an extra differential around, and it's a multiple of repairs later on down the road. But for those of you who love trucks, I know it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. You love your truck. Now, within the VW group, for example, the Porsche and the Audi account for 60% of the profits, even though they're low-volume sales. And Lincoln is dancing to another tune. The Lincoln, meanwhile, is resurgent in the luxury space with the new Continental and the MKZ sedans, and a couple of more new products by the decade's end. The MKZ debuted at the show, boasting a new face and powertrain for the brand. And I got to tell you, the face of the MKZ Lincoln reminds me of a Jaguar. You check it out. You online and you see for yourself. So I said, well, gosh, that looks like a Jag. Okay, so it's maybe turned upside down, where the Jag has a little wider mouth at the bottom than at the top. The MKZ is the same grill turned upside down. Well, not the same one, but it's pretty close. Nobody says you can't copy it. Genesis, and you've heard me, and it's one of my favorite cars, the Genesis. I remember when Hyundai says we're going to come out with a luxury brand. What, really? Hyundai? So that luxury brand was a $32,000 starting point. And I said, well, there are no $32,000 luxury brands. And I kind of scoffed, like all of the guys in the auto world do, when you got your mind you already know what you think you know about a car or a brand or whatever. And I'll be darned, the first Genesis that I saw, I really liked. And then the first one that came into our service shop and I put on the rack, I really liked, because the way, specifically from a technological standpoint, the way the engine and the transmission are bolted together, it all becomes one piece. Now, you could say, well, the same thing. Well, any car where you bolt the transmission on now, it's got one piece. But this shape of the transmission was triangulated so that if you drew a triangle, and if you took the Eiffel Tower and laid it on its side, and then sawed it in half and bolted it back together, that's the configuration, the look of the bracing and the design that I saw. And another thing that I thought was particularly interesting, and this was early on now, this is when Genesis first came out, the body panels, the complete underside of the car was covered with shielding. And that shielding was there multi-purpose. One, for airflow over the different shapes and curves and mechanical parts of the automobile so that it would increase gas mileage. I mean, you would be surprised. For example, a Lexus undercarriage has dimples like a golf ball because air flows better over that surface than it does a totally flat surface. There's what's called a boundary layer of air. And that's so interesting from a standpoint. And you say, well, Bobby, I don't really care about the underside of my car. No, but you care about the MPG that you're getting. And I know that VW cares about it, because VW said, we want to give you MPG, even if we have to cheat to do it. I had to say that, Kevin. You know I had to say that.
I know.
You know. But Cadillac and Alfa are taking the BMW, Mercedes, and the Audi performance reputation head on. And as I said, Lincoln is taking a different approach, where Cadillac and Alfa are going after the high end of the performance market. The Lincoln is targeting the lower price luxury makers like Lexus and Infiniti. I drove an Infiniti. I like the Infiniti. They're good cars. We don't have a lot of them with serious problems that come into the shop. they're a bit rigid. They're high performance. So you have the Nissan, you have the Infiniti. It's basically the same vehicle, except that the Infiniti is a higher high performance vehicle, and it rides like it. At least the one that I rode was G37. But whatever their strategy, the executives at the Los Angeles Auto Show agreed that good product is not enough. Get this, brand marketing is essential. So what do? Well, they call us and say, hey, Likis, we want you to talk about our GMC on air, which is fine with me because we have opportunity to learn more about what's coming down the pipeline before it ever hits the showroom floors. And also, I want to thank Henry Payne, who is an auto critic for the Detroit News, for all the information that he puts out. The Auto News is one of my favorite go-to sources of information. And I'll give you a go-to source. 888 Car Clinic is the number. We've still plenty of time to get your name in the hat for the $50 O'Reilly gift card. But I often share with you what's happening in my shop, and now you can catch a glimpse of the work my technician professionals do every day on our Pinterest board. And I share this with you on a weekly basis because we choose on a weekly basis specific jobs. And you simply go to pinterest.com/Bobby Likis, in the shop with Bobby Likis. This week, and this is so cool, Jonathan even came in this morning and says, how did that piece of wood get in there? We had a 2013 Lexus GS 350 with 18,000 miles on it, with a loud squealing noise when you apply the brakes. And Johnny Bars, our ASE lead certified technician, found a piece of wood wedged between the brake rotor and the backing plate. And you have to see photos of this, and you can see them on our page at pinterest.com/Bobby Likis, in the shop with Bobby Likis, and in the shop board. And you'll see the pictures of this Lexus. And he literally just took it apart, took the wood out, put it back together, and the owner was really, really happy. And we were as well. That's the end of the first hour of Bobby Likis. Another great hour coming up. Take a break. I'll see you at the top of the hour. Likis, you'll love us.
This is Bobby Likis Car Clinic. Bobby Likis Car Clinic is a copyrighted presentation of Car Clinic Productions Incorporated and may not be reproduced or rebroadcast without the express written approval of Car Clinic Productions Incorporated.
Today's new product spotlight is on Denso's Iridium TT spark plugs. Your vehicle's spark plugs deliver the electric current necessary to ignite the fuel that runs your engine. But not all spark plugs are the same. Denso is proud to introduce the Iridium TT spark plug. The Iridium TT's two tips, the twin tip, allow the spark plug to create the largest spark concentration and explosion for more power, superior fuel economy, and fewer emissions. And fewer emissions help protect our environment, while fewer visits to the pump save you money. Denso's Iridium TT spark plug is designed to last beyond 100,000 miles. The patented formula features the highest iridium concentration of any spark plug and outperforms in the most severe engine temperatures, resisting oxidation and voltage wear. Denso has the tradition of innovation. Using their OE expertise, Denso products are manufactured to give you the right part and the right fit the first time, every time. Learn more about Denso's Iridium TT spark plugs at densott.com.
You're listening to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
Bob, what's new? Last month I'm in Africa. When this wildebeest charges me, we butt heads and he's history. After I pull my guide from the jaws of an alligator, I dig into some beef jerky. I get heartburn. I take out my Rolaids as I'm fighting off a wild boar. In under 10 seconds, it starts working. Then the boar is bye-bye. My heartburn's gone.
Rolade starts working in under 10 seconds? You expect me to believe that?
It's true. Rolade starts neutralizing acid in under 10 seconds. ROLAIDS spells relief. Use as directed.
While Johnny Kim was getting ready for the first customers of the day, someone else was looking at Larger's face for his growing business. At 3 o'clock, while the Curtis family was watching their daughter's soccer game, someone else was walking a prospective tenant through one of their apartment buildings. And while Carmen Delabar was preparing for a fashion show, someone else met with an appraiser about her investment property. You've got a life. We let you live it. We're realtors. Real estate is our life.
Bobby Likis Car Clinic begins at 6 minutes after the hour. Bobby Likis Car Clinic begins at 6 minutes after the hour. Bobby Likis Car Clinic begins at 6 minutes after the hour. Bobby Likis Car Clinic begins at 6 minutes after the hour. Bobby Likis Car Clinic begins at 6 minutes after the hour. Countdown to 3-minute mark. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. Bobby Likis Car Clinic begins at 6 minutes after the hour. Bobby Likis Car Clinic begins at 6 minutes after the hour. Bobby Likis Car Clinic begins at 6 minutes after the hour. Countdown to 1-minute mark. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. Countdown to 30-second mark. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. Countdown to 10-second mark. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. Welcome to Bobby Likis Car Clinic. If you have a car question for Bobby, call now at 1-800-264-5454, toll-free from anywhere in America. And now, here's your host, Bobby Likis.
Thank you, Marty White. I want to start off this program by telling you that I will be giving away at the end of this broadcast, about 50 minutes after the hour or so, 55 after, a $50 gift card, compliments of O'Reilly Auto Parts. So if you call in and you have to call with a car question, we'll put your name in the hat, and maybe we'll draw your name out of the hat. So 888 Car Clinic is the name for it. The name is the number for you to call. 888-227-2546. Here's an oxymoron: upbeat feds. Is that anyway? They're revising the self-driving car position. I'll tell you about that, and when I come back from the break, because it's really interesting how they're are taking a second look at self-driving autonomous automobiles. So this may really be a thing of the future that's here. This segment of Bobby Likis Car Clinic is brought to you by Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline. Stay ahead of the engine threats like gunk and corrosion and wear with new Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline, the best total engine protection you can get at the pump. Choose it today. This segment of Bobby Likis Car Clinic is also brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts, where you're guaranteed to get the everyday low price on the part you need. O'Reilly Auto Parts will match any local auto parts store price or any like item. O'Reilly Auto Parts has the parts you need. Better parts, better prices every day.
They're out there. Gunk, corrosion, and wear, relentlessly preying on engines. But new Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline provides unbeatable protection from gunk and corrosion, and superior protection against wear, for the best total engine protection you can get. Stay ahead of engine threats with new Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline today.
Today's new product spotlight is on Cardone Ultra Premium Calipers. You've spent hours getting your ride ready for a cruise around town. You can see your reflection in your door and eat off the dashboard. But what about those rusty calipers? They just can't withstand the elements. But Cardone Ultra Premium Calipers feature an exclusive weatherproof coating that protects against rust and corrosion. Wrapped in a sleek, powder-coated silver finish, Cardone Ultra Premium Calipers look sharp and complement all wheel types. Installation is easy and all necessary hardware is provided. Cardone Ultra Premium Calipers provide the best of both worlds, premium appearance and superior performance. And now, through November 30, every Cardone Ultra Premium Caliper you purchase gives you a chance to win a Ford Mustang GT. Monthly winners will also be chosen to win a $250 Visa gift card. Register and report each product code at CardoneUltra.com. That's CardoneUltra.com. Pay a mechanic $100 for fuel system cleaning or clean it yourself like a pro for $30. Rid your fuel system of performance-crippling carbon deposits and take back the power of your engine with new Fuel Pro Complete from Motor Medic. In 2 easy steps in 5 minutes, Fuel Pro Complete restores power, eliminates knocking, pinging, and rough idling, plus improves fuel economy. Fuel Pro Complete, the professional fuel system cleaning kit from Motor Medic. Get it today at participating O'Reilly Auto Parts and AutoZone stores.
You're listening to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
Another lending success story from LendingTree.com.
Car dealers like playing games. They play percentage points, they play markups, but I don't like playing with my money. So I got my auto loan through LendingTree.com. I filled out one simple form, a marketplace of banks and lenders competed over it, and I got 4 offers back within hours. After all, the car buying game is a lot easier to win when you're holding all the cards.
LendingTree.com. When banks compete, you win. For additional information and state license disclosures, please visit our website located at lendingtree.com.
This is Willie Works.
Hi.
Back to answer all your laundry questions, like how to get out those tough embedded odors.
Like when your husband comes back from the plant. Woo, smelling like he brought the whole place home.
Or when one of the cows escapes and you have to wrestle it to the ground.
Uh-huh.
What? I think that's a good one.
They're all good ones, and I have the solution. Febreze for the wash.
Ooh.
Just add a capful with your detergent and odors disappear.
Wow, one capful is all it takes?
Yep, Febreze for the wash. One cap, one wash.
And say goodbye to odors.
And now back to Bobby Likis Car Clinic and your host, Bobby Likis.
Okay, let's get started with this hour of Bobby Likis Car Clinic. I do want to welcome you in. A great show today. We had a report from our own neck of the woods, Pensa Cruz, which is actually I'm proud to say that we have a Pensa Cruz right here in Pensacola, because it's a car-related gig with hundreds of cars, and I can only see that growing in the future. And it comes on the heels of a report from our special friend WNDB 1150 AM, our affiliate in Daytona Beach. Terry Sabiston called in from the Daytona International Speedway and talked about the 6,000 cars they have there. This is a 42nd annual. Now wait, they have 42nd years head start, but I don't know if we'll catch up with the 6,000 automobiles, but it doesn't matter. Just a fun afternoon about cars. And America has a love affair with automobiles. It's been said that that wasn't true or it faded away, and that's just simply not the case at all. I see we have Jim from Mississippi in the queue. I'm going to go to him, but first, let me share a couple things with you so that you'll be better apprised of this hour's opportunity. You call me with your car questions at 888 Car Clinic. That's 888-227-2546. I'll put your name in the hat to win a $50 gift card. Compliments of O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices. Well, at that price, yeah, every day. And now, just another reason to love O'Reilly Auto Parts, a $50 gift card. I'll announce the winner at the end of this hour of Bobby Likis Car Clinic. Just make sure that you call Allison at 888-227-2546. And before I go to Jim, I mentioned the upbeat feds are revising the self-driving car. What do you think about autonomous cars? And you say, well, I don't know if they're going to come out. Well, folks, this week I had an opportunity to ride in a Tesla, a twin electric motor Tesla, 670 horsepower, Bill Trundle Marine. By the way, that Tesla is going to be at the Pensa Cruz downtown. It's already there, I'm sure. And I'm going to go down and take another look at it. I got a chance to ride in it, and I could spend an hour just going through the screen, the 17-inch screen. Kevin, you were in the back seat. Give us your view of this really bad car.
Well, I mean, it's the Model S was already my dream car, right? And having the chance to ride in it was really something else. I'm a bit of a roller coaster junkie, so when we hit that acceleration and it just went bam right off the bat with those electric motors, it feels exactly like being in a catapult coaster, like Rock and Roller Coaster at Disney World or the Hulk at Universal. It's the exact same feeling. He even said, "Hey, put your head back on the headrest before I do this, because it'll snap you right back." It is whale of a time just riding in that car.
You're so right there. And folks, this had an insane mode, had a standard mode, and then an insane mode, and 3.2 seconds, 0 to 60 miles per hour per Bill Trundle, and actually that's what Tesla. And lo and behold, now they're going to send to him wirelessly, and he has to put in a heavier circuit breaker. It's the only physical change. They're going to send to him a new package that's called Ludicrous package that takes that 3.2 and brings it down to 2.7. 3.2 at 0 to 60 in 2.7 seconds. Four-wheel drive, unbelievable. Now, let's shift gears. The U.S. Secretary of Transportation has directed his department to reevaluate its guidance on self-driving cars, indicating he sees the potential for autonomous vehicles to ultimately transition into broader use as technology and safety advances permit. And Secretary Anthony Fox has asked the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration to update its 2013 policy
as soon as possible, noting he anticipates seeing recommendations in a matter of weeks, not months. Fox also indicated Tuesday he was reaching and reacting in part to the perception that his agency had been a little gingerly in its embrace of autonomous vehicles. What that tells me is that, indeed, if the government and the NHTSA, National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, will sign off on autonomous cars, and there are rules, but if they sign off, that just means we're going to see those cars come to market that much more quickly. And you say, well, what's the use of that? The use is that the safety that it brings you and me and everyone who rides in one or rides near one, it's unbelievable. Let's go to Mississippi and put Jim on the air. Jim, welcome back to Bobby Likis Car Clinic. Always great to have you in the house.
Bobby, you remember that show that used to come on, Night Rider?
Yeah, I do. Oh, yeah, Kit.
Had that car, Kit, driving the car. Do those cars have a motor sound to them to let people know that here I come?
Well, Kevin, it did. Well, he turned off the air conditioner and he said, "I want you to hear how quiet." Bill Trundle, he owns the car, turned off the AC. And Kevin was in the back seat. I was in the passenger's front seat. And Jim, I don't know, Kevin, did you hear a whine when he nailed it on the?
Very, very slightly, but only probably because I was sitting on top of it in the back seat.
Well, I was sitting on top of one in the front. Because
That's true.
One in the
Actually,
front
yeah.
too.
There's both.
So Jim, the answer to that is not like you would believe. It's so quiet because I expected to hear a whatever, but yes, you could hear a whine, but it was only under wide open throttle. Pretty wild car, and I was impressed. I really liked it's a technologically advanced illustration of what we can do. Now, I would not buy one only because I love luxury interior. And it was a bit Spartan on the interior. It had leather, it had suede, but that's not its high point. And you can't compare that car. Financially, you can compare it cost-wise, but the Tesla, I would buy one, but I would want the interior out of my Jag in that car. Then I'd be a happy camper. Okay.
Well, Bobby, what I'd call about was
right.
I talked to you about 2 weeks ago about this 2002 Nissan exterior, that throttle position sensor.
Yeah. So you
we was right there at the end of the hour. You said I'd call back, and
right.
I got busy, been gone, just now getting around to calling back.
Okay.
We were talking about the voltage output on the TPS.
Right.
You said it would vary with how fast you were going, how many people were in the car.
Well, it varies with foot.
It shifted gears, Bobby. It runs good. I got my mileage up from 11 miles a gallon to almost 18, and but it shifted gears real quick. It shifted out of first and second at about 8 or 10 mile an hour,
right?
And out of second and the third, it'll sort of glide through. You have to let off the gas like a transmission slipping.
Mm. Well, see that? Well, let me ask a question. Did you say it shifts hard and late in the first gears, the second gears, and it slides in the other gears?
Oh, when you take off, it takes off good, but at about 8 or 10 mile an hour, it shifts in the second.
Okay, stop.
At about 12 or 15,
okay,
it's going to third.
Stop.
And it don't do it all the time.
Okay, all right, Jim, stop. The transmission control is getting an erroneous signal, and it doesn't have to be the throttle. It could be a map sensor as well, because there are two sensors. There are more than two, but they're speed sensor. But the main two sensors that control the transmission shift, and in other words, the sending signals from the engine are the load of the engine, which the map sensor provides, and the throttle position, which you provide with the throttle position switch. The map sensor reads the vacuum and the atmospheric pressure, and it says, hey, he's 2/3 of a throttle, and we're going up a hill. I better stay in a lower gear longer. Or he's going 6 miles per hour looking for an address, house hunting. I don't need to stay in gear. I'll go ahead and shift it 6 miles per hour into the second gear. So what has to be done with this O2 car is you have to hook up a professional scan tool and read the map sensor load and the throttle position sensor load as you're driving the automobile. I didn't know it was a 2002 model.
Yes. Well, my mechanic won't be back till next week, and I want to talk to you about this before. I don't let nobody else through with my vehicles, but this one gentleman.
I understand.
I put this in the shop. He's been gone. He had a stroke. He's been gone. I've had this thing in the shop, Bobby. I bought it last December. I've had it in the shop 5 or 6 times. They've changed the timing belt. They've changed the airflow sensor, massive airflow sensor 3 times. It's just hunting pad. These professional people doing this, and it's not me. And finally, the motor's been put in there. Somebody that put the motor in there crossed the wiring harnesses for the O2 sensor. That's been my biggest problem. And then once we got this fixed up, was when and they tried to adjust the 3 TPS, is when it started shifting funny.
Well,
it went to the point that they started fooling with that thing, and I thought that might be what it was. But my mechanic will be back next week or the week after, and I'll sit down and talk to him about what you and I have talked about. My next question.
All right. Well, there's not a next question because we're out of time. But Jim, you stay with it. A main thing that I instruct you to do, me to you, ride in the car. You drive, let your technician ride in the car with his professional scan tool to read the sensors as you drive. And folks, don't touch that dial, because coming up, Doug Osterhoff, marketing manager for the Buick LaCrosse, another LA show, and Ron and Bob, they're in the queue. Don't you miss anything. 1 out of every 4 batteries will fail this winter. Get yours tested for free at O'Reilly Auto Parts during Super Start Battery Month. The professional parts people will help you determine how much life your battery has left, and if you need a replacement, we'll find the right battery for your vehicle. And right now, during Super Start Battery Month, get up to $25 in O'Reilly gift cards after mail-in rebate with purchase of Super Start Extreme or Super Start Platinum batteries. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Stay tuned to Car Clinic, because today I'm giving away a $50 gift card, compliments of O'Reilly Auto Parts. One lucky Car Clinic listener will be awarded the $50 gift card at the end of today's show. So call me now with your car question at 888 Car Clinic. I'm Bobby Likis, calling all technicians with 20 facts about ethanol. Octane rating measures a fuel's anti-knock index. Higher octanes, like pure ethanol at 113, control damaging engine knock. Drive to ethanolrfa.org for more. This Tire Maintenance Minute is brought to you by General Tire and the Ultimax RT43, a smarter tire for a smarter driver. Why do vehicles come with a tire that's rated to 150 miles per hour when everyday drivers don't drive that fast? A tire's speed rating indicates the maximum speed a tire is rated to spin before failure to perform as designed. But more than that, as speed ratings increase, tires are designed to perform better during conditions such as cornering, braking, and in emergency maneuvers. That's why you may find a V speed-rated tire on a vehicle that's electronically limited to a lesser speed. For the best performance, replace worn tires with the speed rating recommended by the vehicle manufacturer. The Ultimax RT43 is a stylish, all-season tire designed for a quiet, comfortable ride. And with technologically advanced features like replacement tire monitor and visual alignment indicator, the Ultimax RT43 really is a smarter tire for a smarter driver. Learn more at GeneralTire.com.
You're listening to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
Telephone tip.
From Geico Auto Insurance.
When calling Geico to switch your car insurance, you will not need acetaminophen, naproxen, indomethacin, ibuprofen, a cold compress, an on-call acupuncturist, or any other pain remedy. In 15 minutes, you could save 15% or more. If it were any more painless, you could do it in your sleep, which is theoretically possible since we offer complete 24-hour service. Call 1-800-947-AUTO, 1-800-947-AUTO. Geico Direct, the sensible alternative.
Some original thinking by Starbucks barista Frank Botex.
What I love most is getting customers to smile in the morning. Starbucks is just a place to come and relax, to kick your feet back. I mean, it's a second home. Starbucks is now in a grocery store, and what better way to just become your own personal barista at home? You go to the grocery store, pick up some coffee, take it home, let the aroma take over your body.
Your favorite Starbucks coffee, at grocery, at home, at last.
And now back to Bobby Likis Car Clinic and your host, Bobby Likis.
And welcome back to Bobby Likis Car Clinic. Great show today. Call with your car questions at 888 Car Clinic. On the line with us now from the Los Angeles Auto Show this week is Doug Osterhoff, the marketing manager for Buick La Crosse. Doug, I want to welcome you to Bobby Likis Car Clinic. You got to be having a blast at the show, especially with all the General Motors awards this year.
Yeah, we are having a blast. It's always exciting when you build up to the point where you can reveal a new car, and the all-new La Crosse is certainly something special. So it's been a really fun week.
Building on the cues from the concept Buick Avenir, the 2017 La Crosse was just introduced this week in Los Angeles. Share with our Car Clinic listeners and viewers what's new for La Crosse in 2017. I know there are quite a few new and enhanced features for the 2017 La Crosse, but what are you most excited about?
Well, the car is new from the ground up. So if you go online, you see the pictures of the car. The styling is very dramatic. It's some very new proportions to the car, where it got lower and a little wider, extended the wheelbase out. So that gives you a very sleek, luxurious look to the car. The interior is all new as well, and it harmoniously syncs with the exterior. Same level of craftsmanship and materials that we have in the car today. So visually, the car draws you in. But one of the areas I'm the most excited about really is the underpinnings from the ground up of this car are all totally new, and there's a lot of technology on it that's either first to Buick or first to General Motors. It's an all new structure to the car. Took weight out, so it's more responsive, more efficient, has better handling. Bobby, we even put in a 5-link suspension, which you really don't find kind of cars in this class. They're usually more expensive luxury cars.
Yes.
Because we wanted to maintain the handling, but we also wanted to improve the ride. Because our customer target that we talk to, that's important to them. And this car's been very quiet, through the years. A lot of people have written about that, but it's even quieter. We have noise cancellation in it. We have some new ways of dissipating sound now that allows us to not have to put those really thick barrier mats in, so we got to take some weight out, but it's also quieter. So the powertrain's all new. Even though it's still a 3.6-liter engine, it's an all-new engine, a little lighter. It's more efficient. It has start-stop technology, which normally you see just in the hybrids until now. And it has fuel management control, so it shut off some cylinders. So the engine itself, aside from the lightweighting we did to the car, got a lot more efficient too. And then, finally, the other thing I'm really excited about is, we've had all-wheel drive, throughout the life cycle of the current car, and we'll continue it. But we have a really advanced now twin-clutch all-wheel drive system, which instead of having an electronic limited slip differential to transfer the torque between the back wheels, you actually have a clutch on each of the rear axles. So this gives us the ability really to help the car handle and corner better even on dry pavement. So we're excited about coming to market with that. So there's so much to talk about the car, from safety and we've added, this has always had a very comprehensive suite of safety technology that surrounds the car, but we've added some other things like lane keep assist. So we've always had lane departure warning, but now it'll give you a little nudge and help keep you in the lanes. A pedestrian alert, it's kind of an offshoot of our front crash alert. Teen driver. So the list goes on and on.
Well, it sounds like it's a rolling infotainment safety automobile. I know that our Car Clinic listeners, Doug, are car lovers and no doubt reflective of today's consumers. The La Crosse, you mentioned the differential. That's an electronically controlled device that controls the power going to each individual rear wheel. Is that correct?
That was in today's car, where you would have you'd have a clutch system that would help shift the torque from the front wheel drive to the back wheels, but the torque between the two back wheels or power was controlled by a traditional differential, limited slip differential, but it was electronically controlled, so it was tied into the computer. But what this new system does is, instead of having this differential, it's actually got a clutch on each of the axles, so you have a lot more control of power, easing power and torque on and off, because really the only way with the differential to kind of back off the torque on one side is to brake. But now with the clutches, you have a lot more infinite control of that, and you can get the rate of spin of the wheels going around corners precisely correct, so you don't get understeer or oversteer, depending on how aggressive you're being, and it's really a sophisticated system.
Well, it sounds like it. We're talking with Doug Ostroff, marketing manager for the Buick LaCrosse. Doug, let's shift gears to tell us about the interior. You've already mentioned the exterior. It's lower, it's wider, more staunch looking, but the interior, what's going on inside?
Well, the interior as well was completely redone, and we wanted it to be harmonious with the outside of the car. So there's no juxtaposition when you get in the car. It's like, yeah, this is what I would expect after being drawn in by that styling. But we kept the level of beauty and craftsmanship and actually brought it up, another notch with this interior. And it has a cockpit feel, but because the proportions changed on the car, we were able to kind of move the cowl forward and down a little bit, which gives you more open feeling and a little better visibility. And we have a electronic precision shifter now. So it's just a toggle. You do a quick toggle to get into drive and a toggle to go back into park. So we could take all the mechanics out of the center console, so there's a pass-through. Well, that makes it feel more open and spacious. And then we've always been known for quiet, so the car is even quieter, which gives people a real restful feeling when they're done driving the car. And we've even brought in features like massaging seats and things like that. So, we really focused on what our target customers are really after, and just enhanced it and made it better.
Well,
and it's going to be a segment-leading car.
It will be, because Buick's come a long way in the last 5 years for sure, but it's the underpinnings that are most interesting to me, although I love the interior, the beauty, and I love all of the technologies that come with the automobile, but I can't wait to see and drive one face-to-face. Give us a website so that our Car Clinic listeners and viewers can check it out.
Yeah, it's just Buick.com.
Oh,
just go to Buick.com, and we already have information up there, and they can learn about some of the key features. That's kind of been our focus. We won't have the complete level of detail because these will be in dealerships this summer, but there's enough up there that I think will wet the whistle, and also a lot of great images, too, of the car.
Sounds great to me. Doug Ostroff, Marketing Manager, Buick LaCrosse 2017. Doug, thanks for joining us on Bobby Likis Car Clinic. Always great to have someone from GM. We'll have to get you back in the house one day.
Okay, thanks, Bobby. Appreciate it.
I'll tell you what, he knows his product, and the product sounds absolutely fantastic to me, the new LaCrosse. We will have to drive one. Let's go to Oregon, talk with Ron. Ron, welcome to First. Thanks for holding. Welcome to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
Oh, thank you, Bobby. Always listen to you. But I guess, Bobby, what I'm trying to get is to the engines and transmissions of today against, I guess I'm just still living in the 50s. I drive a car that's a cast iron engine all the way through.
Okay.
It's a push rod engine.
Okay.
But yet you look at today, some of your fastest cars are still a push rod engine. But where do you think, I know there's dual overhead cams, there's superchargers, there's and where do you think is the I know with gas mileage and stuff like that they're looking at, and the lightness of the cars, but when you drove a car, an older car over there, you felt the road, okay, and it was a good feeling. I think that's being lost right now. These cars are so super quiet now. It's like you're living in a living room. And
I hear you. Well, here's the good news is, and that's where the classic cars come in. That's where the cars that you have one in the driveway and one in the garage. And the one in the garage, I mean, I know exactly what you're saying because I walk both sides of that line myself. I drive a four-door 2013 Jag that I had made, and I say had made, I designed it, I spec'd it out, and it's drop dead gorgeous, and I love the fact that it's smooth. I love the fact that it has leathers. My wife loves to sit in the back and look at the screens, and it really it's the epitome of what you're talking about, that not albeit on the sort of a negative side. Having said that, just outside the studio here, I've got a 1980 classic Porsche and a 2001 Dodge Viper and the Viper has 31,500 miles. And after today's show, I'm going to get in the Viper, and I haven't driven it this year. This is
the
really
enjoyment of driving the car like that, going back and forth. I get what you're saying.
So I've got the best of both worlds, and I don't need these cars, but every time I start to sell the car, I say, well, what would I? Okay, so if I sold the car and I figured the Viper, I have a bottom line figure. So if I took that money for the Viper that's paid for and put it in the bank, would I have the pleasure of the car with the money that it would bring in the bank? And the answer would be no. I want to go drive that car whenever it pleases me. So I'm with you. Now, having said all this, if you look at the deaths per million miles, there's no doubt that cars are safer than they've ever been in the history of transportation. So, and then you look at engine configurations. Ford Motor Company this year is going to celebrate 1 million EcoBoost engines. And Ron, here's what's sacrilege almost, and you'll appreciate this. 64% of the F-150s come with an EcoBoost engine. And I remember when if you had a F-150 and it didn't have a V8, that would be sacrilege. And yet 64% of all F-150s as we speak are EcoBoost the V6 twin turbos. So we have shifted. We are shifting in technology, and we live in a digital age. Doesn't mean we have to give up. It just means that we have to add to our stable of vehicles. Does that make sense?
It sure does. Okay, yeah. I agree with you. Going both ways over there. The older car and against the newer technology.
Makes you appreciate both.
But here again with maintenance over there, okay, you've got an engine of this, say, dual overhead cam, all the fancy stuff on the engine, and then they're coming up with 9-speed transmissions now.
No. The Ford just filed a patent 8 months ago for 11-speed. It's just a patent, but hey, you and I both know where there's a patent, where there's smoke, there's fire. I guarantee you they've got an 11-speed they're working on, and 9-speed and 10-speed, and that's all about that design is all about downspeeding, downsizing the engine, increasing the compression ratio, using an ethanol-enhanced high-octane fuel to boost the pressure so you can keep that engine in the sweet spot. Ron, thanks so much for your call. You got to call me back, too. I love talking about the old and the new, and folks, don't touch your dial. Let's go to the Car Clinic inbox. Dear Bobby, I'm getting ready to tune up my 2006 Buick Park Avenue, and I'm having difficulty choosing spark plugs. The parts house I use carries 6 different brands. I've heard you talk about new plugs from Denso. Would they be a good choice? Jim, you're talking about Denso's Iridium TT spark plugs, and they would be an excellent choice for your Park Avenue. Iridium is in the platinum family, and it's the most corrosion-resistant metal known on Earth, especially important in harsh environments like your vehicle's engine. The TT stands for Twin Tip, a technology that promotes the largest spark energy concentration and explosion. The result is better mileage, more power, and faster starts, all while reducing carbon emissions. And the Denso Iridium TT is designed to last over 100,000 miles. Thanks for your question, Jim. You can find Denso Iridium TT spark plugs at your local Napa, Advance Auto Parts, or CarQuest stores. And you can learn more at densott.com.
You're listening to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
You can call them used. You can call them previously driven. You can call them anything you want. The point is somebody, maybe even a dozen somebodies, owned the car before you did. And before you put down your hard-earned dollars for the car, you deserve to know exactly where it's been. Get a vehicle history report from Carfax.com. They'll give you the real history of any used car. Visit CARFAX.com or ask your dealer for a Carfax report. Don't buy a used car without Carfax.
I, Dennis Walker, pledge allegiance to the roof. I know it'll be clean, I know it will be comfortable, and I know that if the phone rings when I'm in the shower, I can just let it ring, for I have voicemail. Red Roof Inn, one room, under budget, with free cable and local calls for all.
98% of Red Roof guests are so satisfied with their visit, they plan to come back. Now that's not just loyalty, that's allegiance. For reservations, call 800-RED-ROOF.
We're a land of cynics. We don't believe anything anymore. You know why? Because we've been told we've won $1 million, that it's new and improved, that it slices and dices, that our favorite singer is still alive, that we'll be prosecuted if we cut off the tags, and of course that everything is backed with a 100% money-back guarantee. So when we hear the words customer service, we don't believe it. Travelocity isn't surprised if you're a little skeptical when they say they have excellent customer service, and that there's actually a pleasant face behind this website, a living, breathing person with a supercharged computer full of answers. Someone who's willing to help when you get lost, and most of all, someone that will actually pick up the phone when you call with a question or a concern. Customer service is just another example of how Travelocity puts you in control of travel. Chances are you'll never have to use it, but it's good to know it'll be there if you need it. Travelocity.com. Go virtually anywhere.
And now back to Bobby Likis Car Clinic and your host, Bobby Likis.
And welcome back to Bobby Likis Car Clinic, folks. I want to thank you for allowing me to come into your life. And when I say that from a standpoint of sharing experiences, what thrills me is those gems of calls that we get that people that I've never met before and probably never will, although sometimes people show up here at Car Clinic and say, I'm from Washington or D.C. or Texas, and I want to see your studio. But it's really great to share automotive experiences, and I thank you for that. It means a lot to us. Let's go to New York and meet a really patient person. Bob, you've been on hold for some time. I thank you for holding, and I thank you for joining us on Bobby Likis Car Clinic today.
Oh, well, thank you, Bobby. It's well worth waiting.
Thank you, sir.
And I listen to your program religiously every Saturday because it's really educational. Well, anyway, what I was calling about was I have a 2006 Nissan Xterra. It's a six-cylinder, 4-liter, and it's got 37,000 miles. It's my wife's car; doesn't get driven much, and it has the code. And I'm sorry I don't have the number of the code, but it's the one for the fuel system, like the gas cap.
Evap code.
I've changed that cap, and it makes no difference. Okay. And I've tried resetting it. It runs for several weeks, and then the code's on solid. And I was hoping for some recommendations on what to look for, what to try to evaluate to chase that down, because I used to have an auto repair business, but I've been retired out of it for 20 years, so I'm dated.
Well, I hear you, and the easiest, most painless way, you'll have to pay someone, but the way that we would pinpoint the leak, we have what in the industry has, and you've probably never seen this before. I actually made one years ago when I worked on carburetors. And it was a smoke tester. And so we have a machine that we secure to the evap system of any automobile, and it injects smoke, harmless smoke, into the system, and then you literally, with a flashlight, walk around under the car and under the hood, and you're looking for this smoke, like I don't know if you watch Dancing with the Stars, which is kind of a neat. Their stage setting is unbelievable, but the smoke will come out if there's a significant leak. Not always, but that is the quickest way to pinpoint. And here's the reason that I say some cars, and I don't know that your 06 Xterra is this sophisticated or not, but I will tell you that some cars, when you turn them off and walk away, 5 minutes later, there's a pump that comes on and pumps pressure into the tank and sees how much pressure the tank will hold. And even if it doesn't come on when you turn the car off, as you're driving the car, that pressure will pressurize and maintain a very low pressure in the tank to verify that there's no leaks into the atmosphere of fumes, which is evaporative emission. And that's how this all got started, was the fact that, and a little known fact is that if you took a 19, and Ron and I were talking about old cars and new cars, if you took a 1965 model automobile and parked it in a driveway and left it sit all day long in the sun, and you took a 2000 and let's say you're a 2006 Xterra, and you went from Manhattan to DC and back, the emissions that you would escape into the atmosphere on your round trip from Manhattan to DC and back would be less than the car sitting in the 65 model automobile sitting in the driveway in the sun all day long with the engine shut off. Because we had, and you, Bob, you remember this if you were in the business, we had a vent that vented to atmosphere the fumes, and it was a tube, and whenever you overfill the gas tank, it would just run over and run out on the ground. And if it didn't run out, the fumes would still come out, and you would always smell that old car smell, that old gas smell in your garage. And so it's a good thing. Your evap system is a good thing. It's a little bit demanding because it can have, the system can have really small leaks, like a vacuum hose or a fuel pressure hose, evaporative hose that slips onto a fitting, and that fitting goes under the intake manifold or of the engine, and it's controlled by a solenoid. And so does the solenoid leak? Is the hose leaking from the tank to the solenoid under the hood? Is the hose leaking from the solenoid to the engine, or is it leaking at the engine? So it's the opportunity for leakage exists to such extremes that an evap can really be a challenge. And to that end, we actually had I think it was a Lexus or Infiniti, I think it was a Lexus, in here one day that had the evaporative canister that was bad, and literally it came as a whole assembly, and it bolted underneath the car at the gas tank underneath the car. And it was not cheap, not inexpensive. It was the whole assembly because it came as a package, and it has to do with manufacturing and those sorts of things. So for you, I think you've done all you can do.
I've dealt with one of those before.
Yeah, okay.
On the Suzuki, and having to replace that thing. And you're right, I ran into it. It was a real nightmare.
Yeah,
but I got into that. But in this type, chasing it down, which end of the hose? Will I start at the evaporative canister? And
well, that's the whole point. That's the whole point. Without a tool, you can't. Well, what I would do if I were you is get a diagram first of the system. You got to have that.
Right, I have that.
All right. Then you would go to the usual suspects. If you saw that movie, one of my favorites, if you would go to where the heat and vibration is the worst, that means where these hoses connect onto T's or plastic fittings or intake manifold fittings on the engine, because that's where the fumes are escaped and allowed to burn, so that you get increased MPG because you're taking the fumes out of the gas tank and you're burning them versus put them in so you're running cleaner air, plus you're increasing MPG because you're not wasting the fumes. So I would check under the hood. Here's the challenge with that. You must be very...
See, I have a smoke machine, not for this, but I like your idea. If it's looking for, escaping smoke, it'd just be like if I were...
Well, you're a resourceful guy, but it can't be but, 1 or 2 PSI pressure, because you can't put pressure on a gas tank.
Uh-huh.
So,
okay.
But it seems to me that you could, I say seems to me, I'd have to see what you have there, but you sound resourceful. So use your smoke machine and induce smoke into the car. The problem is you have to have an adapter, take the gas cap off and have to have an adapter. It doesn't leak. Or you have to have another source, and there are specific sources and places where you hook up these, and it differs with different automobiles. So
yeah, well, I have a lot of equipment like for fuel pumps, various pressure.
Yeah, but that's old stuff.
That's the outfit.
That's old stuff. It's not going.
I've had to get new stuff
Okay.
because I have kids in college, so you know,
hear you.
they're putting the screws to me, you know.
Hey,
Okay.
here's what's going to happen. You're going to educate those kids, and when you get old, they're going
Right.
to take care of you. Okay.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
You know, I was even thinking if that's the case, I could put some pressure and look for a leak down.
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
not
in a
going to work.
particular line.
That's not going to work. No, you got to have smoke. You got to have a smoker. Hey, my friend.
Okay. Well, one thing which I thought of afterwards.
Okay.
Just give me your opinion quick.
All right.
Somebody has offered my boy. They have a 1966 Mustang, not the hatchback, but the regular sedan type that's been up on stands and tarps for 30 years. And they were cleaning out, gonna junk this, and the junkyard out from $100, but $50 to pick it up.
Okay.
They said that he can have it for $100, and I thought it might be a collector's item or something, a '66 Mustang, and I don't know.
Here's what I would do. I would go to the Mustang Club of America. That's an easy to do. And I don't know that's the name of it, but if you Google Mustang Club of America, there's got to be some, that's a very, very highly respected, highly sought after automobile. And that doesn't mean that the one that you're talking about is one of those highly sought after cars, but because it's a virgin, because it's under this tarp, and because there's no telling what's under there, I would go to Mustang Club of America. I would reach out to the nearest charter, and that would be there in New York, somewhere near you. I would reach out, and you can do this because you can go to blogs and forums online and ask questions, and someone from the club, usually it's the president of the club or the moderator of the chat room, will reach back to you and say, let me put you in touch with Kevin, or let me put you in touch with Jonathan, who is our resident Mustang guru. And then you can cut to the chase because you're talking with someone who knows 100 or thousands of people and the value of the car that you know nothing about. That's what I would recommend. Now, so that's what I would recommend, and before I wouldn't spend a dime. But if you could buy it for $100, and you have to place to put it, that's another thing. It could if you bought it, your wife sure ain't gonna let you put it in the living room. Or maybe not in the garage. No, so there's nothing.
No room anymore.
Yeah, I know. We're all there. We're all there. Hey, thanks for your call, Bob. I appreciate you.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And the only reason I ask you that is that I had a motorcycle that turned out to be a very valuable antique that I was going to throw away, and you saved me on that.
Well, thank you, sir. Appreciate your kind words. And folks, that's it's so much fun for me. And again, I'll remind you, for our local listeners listening on WCOA 1370 News Talk Radio, I'm going to be downtown for the Pensa Cruise and look at all the automobiles. I've already ridden in the Tesla, but I got to go by and see Bill Trundle again anyway. Kevin, you agree with that? I mean, was that not a bad ride?
Oh, it was it was something else.
It was something else.
Great.
Can you imagine a rat rod on this parking place and a Tesla? Elon Musk, anyway, that's another story. It's time. We talked about this during the program, but now it's time to announce the winner of the O'Reilly Auto Parts $50 gift card. And folks, I have to tell you, my experience with O'Reilly Auto Parts in my Bobby Likis Car Clinic Service pre-repair service shop, and my team and the support I get from my local O'Reilly Auto Parts is over the top. I say that because it's true. I say that because it makes us look really good. And we provide services for 44 years in the automotive service business, some 200,000 cars and small trucks through our door. So we know when we're getting good service, and we know how to give good service, but we still have to have the support for parts, and that's where O'Reilly Parts comes in. So I'd like to announce the winner, and the winner is Ron from Portland, Oregon, who just won the $50 gift card, compliments of O'Reilly Auto Parts. Ron, if you're still tuned in, congratulations. Thank you for your call today. Thank everyone for your calls today and always for your participation in Bobby Likis Car Clinic. Remember, every Saturday from 10 till noon Eastern Time, we come to you at your local favorite AM and or FM radio stations. And then if for some reason we're not available, you can find us online at watchbobbylive.com. That's watchbobbylive.com. And it's really way cool because we have our HD camera. We have the YouTube channel, which is Bobby Likis Car Clinic. You can just go to YouTube and Google Bobby Likis. And there are many, many shows that we have on there. And there are interviews that we have with folks every week. And we'll share those with you. So it's a great opportunity. And for podcast, for those of you who podcast, you got automatic downloads. So I love the technology, and I love to share the technology. And I would like for you to like me on Facebook.com/Bobby Likis. That's Likis. Also, follow us on Twitter. That's Twitter.com/Bobby Likis. Same spelling, Likis. And that's Bobby, by the way. And then on Pinterest, find us on Pinterest at Pinterest.com. And thanks to all of you who have tuned in today on YouTube, now in full screen, true HD, 100% ad-free, and with the ability to rewind, pause, and add me on Google Plus right straight from my YouTube channel. Stay tuned each week for our giveaways, and think about next week what you might want to share with folks who are car people from across the nation, and give us a call at 888 Car Clinic. I'm Bobby Likis. Have a fantastic, well, you've already had hopefully a fantastic Thanksgiving. Have a fantastic weekend. Like us, you'll love us.
This is Bobby Likis Car Clinic. Bobby Likis Car Clinic is a copyrighted presentation of Car Clinic Productions Incorporated and may not be reproduced or rebroadcast without the express written approval of Car Clinic Productions Incorporated.
The relationship with your vehicle is about trust. You trust in your car or truck to get you to work or play. So when your car needs to be repaired, make sure you trust the parts your technician uses to get your vehicle going again. With over 100 years of OE expertise, Delphi has earned your trust. Delphi supplies OE automotive technologies to the world's top 25 vehicle manufacturers. Take fuel systems. Delphi covers 9 out of 10 vehicles on the road and is backed by a lifetime guarantee. Delphi has more than 30 OE proprietary innovations and 150 patents in fuel pump and module design alone. Delphi parts are tested in corrosive, contaminated fuel blends for long life. Some tests will run over 10,000 hours continuously. That's over 1 year non-stop. For over a century, Delphi has had a passion for making the parts that help vehicles worldwide run better, longer, and more efficiently. For more, go to DelphiAutoparts.com.
You're listening to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
P-Ricey Outfitters, I'm Tina. How can I help you?
I'd like to place an order.
Great. Which item?
The cotton roll neck sweater, large.
Okay. Periwinkle, loaded, or caramel?
The caramel, please.
The what?
I'd like it in caramel.
Oh, the caramel?
Yeah, that's what I said, Tina.
Actually, you said caramel when it's pronounced caramel.
Can't we just call it yellow?
No.
Everyone knows the best part of a Milky Way. They just don't know how to say it. After all, it's our caramel.
It's caramel.
Ugh, that makes a Milky Way great.
You start my morning, you stir in my soul, you warm my heart, make me feel whole. Your aroma calls me, starts my